Choosing fingering is one of the most important steps in learning a new piece of piano music, and it makes a huge difference to how things are going to go further down the line. Some fingerings are designed to minimize hand and arm movement. There are other kinds of fingerings that make you move more, and that's what I'm going to be showing and talking about in this video. The first two examples are going to be in Mozart's C major Sonata K545. First, I'm looking at the trill in measure 4, which goes like this. Instead of keeping my fingers in order, I'm doing the trill on 1-3, and then finishing by going 2-3-1. Seems like more work at first, but it allows me to rotate on 1-3, which in my opinion is the best trill fingering for rotation, and then using some in and out arm movement, going to the 2-3 and then the 1. Next, moving on to measure 9 and 10. There are a bunch of scales between measures 5 to 8, and a standard scale fingering is fine for those, but I think in 9 and 10 it works out better like this. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm on 4 here. I'm going to go to 1 on the downbeat. And then 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. So. It feels much nicer, it has momentum in the arm movement, and it helps you get some shape in these scale passages. Next is Beethoven's Bagatelle in G minor, Opus 119 number 1. The fingering I have here, I actually found in my Vienna Urtext edition, and I think it's really smart. It's written 2, 2, 2, 2. So that way we're going to articulate the quarter notes with an arm stroke rather than using different fingers, and then you get a more even articulation and length on those notes. I think it works really well. Next is Chopin's Waltz in A flat, Opus 69 number 1, which is look at the B section starting in measure 33. So what I like here for fingering is to start it with 3-1, then go to 3-5. It's a really nice arm movement to use 3-5 here, and then I'm coming in with my thumb, and it allows me to create something like a wheel movement, which I've talked about in another video. The next example is Debussy's Clair de Lune at the Poco Mosso section. So what I'm doing here is starting on 5-3, just finishing on a 4, and then going to 5-3 again, taking this note in my left hand, and then 4-1, 2, 3-1. So 5-3. Now that creates a nice smooth arm movement which supports the phrasing. Now on to the more advanced examples. The first one is Bach's C-sharp major prelude from the Well-Tempered Book 1, and I'm at measure 6 and 7. Here, instead of going 4-3-2, which would be the logical option, I like putting 3-2-1 actually, staying in over the keys, and then going to 5-3-2. So. If there's a little break in the legato, it's actually fine because the groupings make sense that way. You have to use a bit of a little bit of rotation to get from the thumb to the 5 in a way that's smooth, but it works really well. Next is Beethoven's Sonata in F minor, Opus 2, number 1. What I've seen in most editions here is just to put your fingers in order and go 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. But if you just finish on a different finger, finish on 3 instead of a 2, then it gives you a little more movement and you can control the end of the gesture better. Moving on to Haydn, the big E flat major sonata, number 52. Here's the opening. What I did there was I went 4, 3, 2, 1 on the 32nd notes, and then jumped off of the thumb to 5, 3, 2. And I like that better than any other options here. The jump is actually fine because it makes sense. And then if you want here, you can substitute for a thumb. If you want to keep that legato, it also works. Next is Schubert's Moment musicale in F minor, number 3. This is the A flat major phrase around measure 11. So I've just worked some movement into this phrase so that my arm is moving with the gestures, starting on 3, and then thumb, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 5, 3, 2. And it puts the lifts in the right places, and it allows the arm to move well with the phrase. The last example is Chopin's Fantasie-impromptu in the middle section. What I'm going to do here is use finger substitutions in a couple of places for the purpose of movement and also phrasing, because sometimes things just work better if you can continue moving through a phrase rather than staying in the same place. What I did there was here, 4 switching to 1, and then 3, 3, 1 to 4, 3. And so that keeps me moving through the long notes, and I feel like I'm staying in the motion of the phrase all the way through there. That's it for today. If you try any of these fingerings out, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear how it goes. And you can subscribe below to be notified about my next video.